Warning, warning. Two idiots are fighting back the river serpent. Please cover your ears and await further flashbacks.
Hi guys! Welcome back to Discovering TD with me, Tammany.
And I don't know why he became so flamboyant, but also me, Darnell.
Well, you're not bringing much energy when I'm
And
bringing
me,
all the
Darnell.
sauce, baby.
I said Darnell British style even for you.
Oh, I'll say it in American style. Tanhoney. Woo!
Tanhoney.
What the fuck is going on? I'm scared.
I don't know. You're the one doing it. This
Possessed
energy did not
by
exist
fruity
before we hit the
spirits.
record button. Possessed by... You mean your own spirit?
How can I be
You're as
possessed?
fruity as they come.
We live out our lives possessed by our imagined selves, so maybe.
You're so fruity they call you Capri Sun.
What do you mean? What have I
Does
done?
Capri Suns have a fruity flavor?
Just because I spoke in like an excited way, that means I'm like...
You're
I don't know. I don't know what you think. When you say fruity, what is it you mean by that? What do you think that?
Just like a little flamboyance, a little quirky.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With the sauce?
What?
I'm quirked up with the sauce.
You're a little bit quirked up with the sauce.
Whoa!
Anyways, we're not here about you or your sauce. We're here about the podcast. And today, I know you thought we were going to read SCPs again. You might have noticed, by the way, that there's a video. There was no video.
This
and
guy,
that's because
he won't shut the fuck up about it.
This guy.
I'm sorry, everyone. It's on a different tab. And he can't handle it. He can't take it.
I can't handle it. It's on a different
Why don't
tab.
you fucking do it if it's that important?
It's not. Maybe I will. But because of that, there's no comments this week. So you're gonna have to.
I'll make up some comments later.
Things people probably said.
Yeah, people like we've done this for like 200 episodes. I know what you guys are likely to say.
All right, I'm curious to hear this at the end. But we are not doing SCP this week. We are doing a creepypasta. Ooh. Yeah, so prepare to get scared. Okay?
This is called The Holder of Jamboree by Merrickson.
Wrong. No. wrong website.
Go to any theme park in the USA and tell the mascot that you want to find the holder of Jamboree. He'll fucking kill you.
He'll shoot daggers at you, literally, with his dagger gun.
He'll start throwing daggers. If you can parry, he will take you to a back room.
In the back room, you will see a roller coaster. It's filled with...
If the roller coaster is blue, you will go to hell and die for 1,000 years. If it's red, please proceed.
If it's green, try again tomorrow.
If it's gold, you got a secret. You get an even rarer holder.
you get the true end.
It's like higher rarity. It's like a gacha.
It's like a shiny.
You get a 5-star object.
No, we're reading.
If there's a rainbow roller coaster, that means Jeff the Killer has appeared somewhere in the labyrinth.
We're actually reading a story called The River Serpent, written by
This is
Tristan
fresh off the creepy
Mason.
presses.
Yeah, this only came out 5 days ago. We found
On the
it
official
on the
Creepypasta website made by Mr. Pasta himself.
And they already have a rating system, so this already has a rating of 8.84 out of 10, so I'll be the judge of how accurate that is.
Okay, so if you're going to rate this, by the way, I need those decimal points. I need this to be very specific.
Understood. All right. Without further ado, shall we continue?
Absolutely. I want to point out first that this person who wrote this is a liar. I want to just establish first. Look at the tags. 37 minutes.
The tags say 37 minutes of
estimated
reading.
reading time at 27 minutes. Which one is it, Tristan?
And for us, it's going to be like an hour and a half because we're.
Yeah, which one is it, Tristan?
Yeah, for two first names. Come on, Tristan Mason.
Maybe it's a team. Maybe they're like co-writers.
Tristan and Mason.
Okay,
yeah.
let's get into it.
Yeah.
This is The River Serpent by Tristan and Mason, or perhaps Tristan Mason.
Who can say?
My best friends, Darius and Jordan, learned about my fear of swimming during an impromptu tubing trip on the Farmington River. The summer after I turned 26, Darius and Jordan took me to Foxborough Park, a park that ran alongside the river. Foxborough Park had recently undergone improvements as a part of the town's beautification project that installed a Jeff the Killer. My parents once described the park as being overrun by druggies and dropouts. After the project completed, the town's lily-white upper-middle-class community became a mainstay of the park, and they gentrified it. We preferred the park the old way, even with its reputation, because it was our high school hangout and our getaway during difficult times. Oh, the wonders of gentrification, Jordan said. Hello, my shadow self. Gesturing to the Blackbird Cafe, a cute log cabin-style restaurant nestled on the bank of the river. Sure, it looks quaint with all the people sitting at those dining wood-carved tables. Those dining wood-carved tables. The words don't go in that order, surely.
I'm starting to think
those wood-carved dining tables.
4 out of 10.
But a single appetizer would clean out your wallet. Shut up, Darius replied, checking his phone. We've got time and I'm hungry. What do you think? Is that, you know what this makes me think of? Have you seen that tweet where it's like, my stereotypical fat friend, like, well, we can get pizza. My nerdy friend, like, pizza, I calculate that pizza plus friends equals fun. That's what this duo is making me think of.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Tan. How would you gentrify a neighborhood? What would you add? From
my experience, like some sort of cones, light cones. Like, we can do some stuff with the benches to make them cruel.
My vote is really expensive food trucks in the park all the time.
Right. And they scan, like, your wallet, and if your bank balance is below a certain amount, it automatically presses down on the accelerator. They're roaming through the park.
Yeah, they also serve as debt collectors.
No, it's not debt, it's just that if you're too poor to be there, they have to eliminate you.
It just starts moving.
Yeah. It's like a Dead Rising Psycho.
His net worth is too low. It's like Psychopaths. The car unlocks.
Headlights go from white to red.
You're too poor to live here. Jesus.
Advertisements. You'd agree with me if your dad wasn't the mayor. Darius rolled his eyes. Yeah, sure. Whatever works. I wasn't watching the cafe at all, but a group of teenagers in orange inner tubes circling down the lazy current. Though the water flowed slowly enough for them to text, teens are always on their phones, am I right? I felt a tinge of nausea through a burst of acid reflux. Hey, how long is the ride, guys? The current is slow as probably a couple of hours, Darius said, scanning my eyes. You okay, man? It's not like you can't swim, Jordan quipped. Wait a minute. I don't think we ever swam together before. I can swim. I shook my head, attention still fixed on the water. I just haven't done it in a long time. Darius patted my back. You probably won't need to. The water is really shallow most of the time. Advertisements. Jordan chuckled.
This is just our ad blocking.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my CPR certification expires. It really is.
Oh my gosh, they really are, yeah!
Darius elbowed Jordan, who jumped back and yelped, "You guys are so uptight." Nah, your jokes are just old, bro. Zach, we don't have to go if you don't want to. It's not that, it's just been a long time since I've done this. Tubing or swimming? Both. You have nothing to worry about, Darius said, smiling. It'll come back to you. I nodded as we walked toward the cafe. He didn't realise how right he was. As Jordan droned on about gentrification and snooty Hyde residents, the memories came back to me. Memories of being 9 and drowning in the river.
Oh my god!
Memories of my
quickly.
late brother swimming frantic in my way as I screamed and slipped beneath the surface in the hot tub.
I know he means late, like the brother probably died, but I love the idea that he was just like, shit, sorry.
I was scheduled to save you 2 hours ago.
He's been drowning for 2 hours. Yeah. It's just dead.
He was an incredible swimmer. He could have gone pro if not for the incident.
The drowning incident. He strained his kicking legs.
Sitting outside, ordering food and engaging in conversation felt all too much like clockwork. Over the years, I learned to tune my body to conversations while my mind tuned out.
I think that's called dissociating.
No, it's a skill.
He's astral projecting.
He's like, body, handle this
the killer.
body. This is base conversation up against.
No, he's just becoming Dross and Lyndon.
My brother's life felt like a blur most of the time, but the time he saved my life played so vividly in my mind on repeat. I locked his memory away for years, but now I remembered everything. It didn't take much, to be honest. He looked at a river.
He looked at water once. My brother.
I close my eyes when I go to the sink.
Memories overflow.
Including a feeling I had never acknowledged before of being pulled under, my body thrashing against the waves. I couldn't remember what pulled me. Just they weighed me down like an anchor, salt water filling my eyes and lungs. You don't think it was some kind of river serpent, do you?
Lord have mercy.
I hope not. That'd be terrifying.
There's no way it would be a river serpent.
That's unrealistic. This is a story about gentrification and trauma. Zach, are you ready for this? Darius asked, briefly staring at my half-eaten plate of food. Are you going to eat that? He doesn't say that. If he wants to just watch us, let him, Jordan sneered, looking up from his calculator. He'll be bored, but he'll be safe. You made your point, asshole. I'm going. With that, the three of us walked to the base of the river, where men in olive green park uniforms were handing out tubes and life preservers. We must have arrived during downtime because only a bearded man in a Hawaiian bathing suit stood before us. A Hawaiian bathing suit? Usually it's like a Hawaiian shirt, is like the stereotypical attire, is it not?
Nice.
What's a Hawaiian bathing suit? Like shorts? Or
Or
like an old-timey bathing suit?
I don't know, I just assume it's like a flower print shirt with like swim trunks.
But that's not a bathing suit, that's a shirt. That's a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, you know what it is? It's swim trunks with the like floral pattern.
I say it. It's still weird, weird phrasing. We swept down to our swim trunks because they call them swim trunks in the next sentence and play something different.
I don't fucking know.
We should get items in a backpack within a nearby bin. They just threw away all their belongings. That's not a story of the bin. Then we dragged our tubes down by a guy with tinted sunglasses and laid them flat. So it wasn't only that guy who is there. There's also a guy with tinted sunglasses.
So I'm not clear. Is this a real river or is this like the lazy river at a water park?
I think it's a real river, but it's also lazy.
Ah, I see.
And laid them flat where the tide met the sand. All right, gentlemen. For your safety, keep your life preservers on at all times. If you happen to fall off the tube, the water should be shallow enough to get back on, but be mindful of the other YouTubers around you. It doesn't say that.
No, I will never be mindful. Sorry, that's a weak mindset. As a strong YouTuber, I will push through all the other tubers.
I will eat when I'm fucking hungry, okay?
I'm Sakuna.
It's always that specific like bodily function though. They're never like, I will shit when I need to shit and kill anyone in my way.
Yeah, well, eating is like, that's like a conquering motion. You're eating something else that was once alive.
By pissing, though, you claim territory, so even more so. I will piss when I have urine, and I will kill anyone in my way.
And I will burp when I have gas.
And they're like, Sakuna, you sick bastard.
Sakuna, stop burping at me.
Stop pissing. Based on the river level, this ride will take you about 2 hours today. There is no eating or drinking inside the tube, as it is important to keep our water clean. Be considerate of kayakers, other tubers, and anglers around you.
Is this like Swedish? Like, what is this voice you're doing?
This is something new. Lastly,
birth of a new accent.
Lastly, leave all wildlife alone. Use the rule of thumb. If you can cover the entire animal with your thumb, you are at a safe distance, which is, isn't this like Fallout? Which is anywhere from 25 to 100 yards. Follow these simple rules, and you'll have a good time. Are we clear? Is it my thumb or yours? What do you think of that?
If it's my phone or yours?
My thumb or yours? This guy.
I lost where we are in the... I'm so sorry. Where are we in the article?
Pay attention!
I am paying attention!
Clearly not. You lost your place.
I did lose my place. I'm so fucking sorry. Give me a second. Phone?
There's no phone.
Or did you say thumb?
I was talking to you as one human to another when I said that.
Gentlemen, Use the rule of thumb. If you can cover the entire animal with your thumb, you're at a safe distance, which is anywhere from 25 to 100 yards, right?
Yeah. Are we clear?
What did you ask me?
I asked is it my thumb or yours?
What if I put a thumb over you and I bent down and it squished your head?
You do that. He's like, I can't move it any further down.
This is my ruler technique.
It would just like stab through your finger, my whole body.
10-ton thumb. Oh my god, that's awful.
You're like, ah! It's like, what's wrong?
Thumb.
You were going to crush me, weren't you? I'm pulling you further down.
Let go!
Let me help you.
That's actually a really funny visual.
We nodded as the gentleman pushed the three of our tubes into the river. Jordan and Darius cheered while I feigned a smile. These are some weird friends, like 26 years old, like hanging out on the lazy river. You got work? When we were about 100 yards away from the base, Jordan pulled a can of IPA from his trunk's pocket, causing Darius to burst out laughing. Ugh, you always have to be the edgy one, I remarked, giving Jordan the side eye. Jordan splashed water towards my tube, but narrowly missed as it spun toward a bend. Live a little, Zach. For once in your milquetoast life, do something spontaneous. Like your YouTube channel, Darius groaned. He's not going to hunt magical ghosts and cryptids for views. What? I'm interested in backstory about his YouTube channel? I laughed, slapping my arm into the water, cutting a nice wave Jordan's way. Better that than being a knife salesman, Jordan jeered. Let's not kid ourselves, Zach.
Have you ever been able to tell when something was like not written by a person with a job?
A knife salesman, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a term. I love the idea of it's like he doesn't work at a store or anything. He goes door to door and he's like, "How do you feel about knives?"
Excuse me, ma'am. You cook a lot, I assume.
He doesn't even like smith knives. He's just like, I'm a knife salesman.
I picked these up at the dump.
Cleaned them off for you.
Ran out the tap a few times. That'll be in the commish. As the three of our tubes circled another bend past a group of young girls, I looked at the orange-tinted sky and smiled. It was good to be with Darius and Jordan, even if we were crudely roasting each other. For the past few years, the monotony of work and home kept us from enjoying each other's company too often. Darius worked for a tech company in Japan and only visited the States a couple of times a year. Jordan, on the other hand...
Darius must be fucking wealthy. Holy shit. That's like a $2,000 place, right?
No, wait, no, he's the dumb one. I own this river.
My papa owns this river.
Maybe I misjudged she was stupid and he was smart.
Yeah.
But I'm already into the voices over his
The other
soul.
guy's a fucking knife salesman.
Jordan, on the other hand, was my roommate, who resented the fact that I worked too often to hang out and make YouTube videos with. Like the day's tide, we were slowly drifting apart, but for the time being, just within an arm or phone call's distance from each other. I wondered how long that would last. These friends have a beautiful friendship. I hope that it can survive the coming of the River Serpent.
Surely the River Serpent will interrupt.
I hope they can.
He's like, what about me, guys? I'm the fourth friend.
I hope they can re-intensify their friendship without interruption on this lazy river. No wildlife will interfere in that process.
Oh, man.
Can I pop one to you?
Sure. For the next hour, we joked and reminisced about better times as we drifted further down the river. A couple groups of tubers had pulled their rafts ashore to have lunch or join the fishermen. The park felt very much alive that day. The man in the Hawaiian bathing suit drifted near towards us as Jordan boasted about his next project. So next week, Matt Drake and I are going to Green Lady Cemetery. He has new EVP gear so we can try to communicate. Wait, which one's the fat one?
Jordan is the smart one who is stupid. He's the one with the calculator.
Okay, so I gave the wrong voice.
So next week, Matt Drake and I are going to Green Lady Cemetery. He has new EVP gear so we can try to communicate. You guys are more than welcome to come along.
Thanks, but I'll pass, Darius scoffed. You tell Zach to get a real job, but look at you, dude.
Wait, is the main character the knife salesman?
I have no idea. As we continued to travel down the river, the old man's tube drifted closer to ours. He was listening to our conversation, not caring if we caught on. When Jordan told a story about getting chased by the ghost of Samson Rock, the man laughed heartily, causing his white Santa Claus beard to bounce off his belly.
Is this the NPC who's arrived?
Ho, ho, ho! You boys sure enjoy some tall tales, he said as his tube pulled up next to ours. The three of us stared at him blankly as he introduced himself with a slight Scottish brogue as Matty McDonald.
Who the fuck is this side character?
I'm Matty McDonald, I am.
That's not a Scottish accent. You'd be killed in the streets for that.
I'm trying my best. Help me. Give me a
I
line.
also can't do one, so...
Matty McDonald. Is that it?
Don't go to Glasgow.
I just have to sound like a dwarf. Hold on, let me think about this for a second. Matty McDonald. How's that?
Fantastic.
Is that good enough? I'm sticking with that. Well, sir, Darius said, visibly indifferent, that only makes Jordan. Actually, I chimed in, to the surprise of Jordan and Darius, I enjoy the stories. I just don't believe in most of them. Matty flashed me a chipped tooth smile, laughing heartily once more. Then maybe the two of you would enjoy the tale of the River Serpent.
What? I thought that was the title.
I'm trying to sound like a dwarf. I keep losing the thread.
Matty McDonald telling you to tell me about the River Serpent.
I gotta get down to the mines. Have you heard it before, boys? We shrugged. Jordan started and then stopped mid-sentence, admitting he surprisingly hadn't heard that one before. Jordan was so inundated with folklore, cryptozoology stories, and hearing his own stories that we were equally thrown off by his loss for words. I'm not surprised. People don't tell serpent stories around these parts anymore, but when I was little, it was all anyone talked about.
Back in the Serpent Mania days.
When I was a wee yin and my family was fresh... Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't do the voice anymore. When I was a wee yin and my family was fresh off the boat, my mother forbade me from playing by the river. She heard stories of boys being pulled under. The boys that lived to tell about it described the sensation of sliminess and sharp scales. The stories of a river serpent spread like wildfire.
Wow, this is a scary story. I hope nothing happens to confirm its validity.
It's true, Jordan exclaimed, pulling up an article on his phone. It's true, I have access to the New York Times archives, and I found an article...
This is the nerds. Jordan's the nerds.
Oh, it's true, Jordan exclaimed, pulling up an article on his phone. It's true,
I
have access to the New York Times archives, and I found an article from 1886 about a 100-foot sea serpent that was spotted all the way up to the Connecticut River in Cromwell.
So that must make it true, Darius said coldly. A second-hand account from the 1800s before much of modern science's discoveries, and you believe it just like that. Figures. Also, we're on the Farmington River, not...
It's a tributary, you silly skeptic, which means it flows into...
I know what it means, Jordan. It still doesn't mean you have any proof. Mr. McDonald, have you ever experienced anything?
Anything? Anything at all? Yeah, I've had a few experiences.
I haven't felt anything since my wife left me.
For the River Serpent.
Sorry, I'm with a real man now. The River Serpent.
Who are you talking to, babe?
Hey, why do you have an inner tube? Where are you going at this hour of the night? Fuck. As soon as the jolly man laughed again, Darius seemed to instantly regret his question, while I quietly grew more curious. At a young age, my late grandfather, a Navy veteran of the Second World War, told Arnold and me tall tale... Who the fuck is Arnold?
His late brother. Get with the program.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so
Don't
fucking
be
sorry.
so insensitive.
Told Arnold and me tall tales about giant squid. So I know I think grammatically it is Arnold and me, but I hate that grammatically it's not name and I. I feel like it should be name and I.
Take it up with the dictionary.
Bloody hell. Tall tales about giant squid and a shark as big as the megalodon. Even though I never believed in my grandfather, I found comfort in some of these stories.
What do you mean comfort?
Of course, my boys.
He's like there in bed like, there's a big fish somewhere.
We're out there, a big fish is crying. Well, I has a lad I went fishing all the time. Caught mostly trout in these days, but I remember one night something heavy tugged me hard and me under. It was the most violent force I ever felt. and I'd not let go of the rod, I would have been like all those other boys. I haven't been fishing on these parts since. I'm just in my Hawaiian bathing suit.
Yeah, I only swim around here now.
My poor Macmin, or what you call grandson, died looking for it. Whoa. Oh, wow, Jordan said, jaw agape. Oh, Darius murmured.
Is that real? That's not real slang. I just searched that. There's no results for that.
I'm sorry for your loss. Thanks for telling us your story. Maybe it's like a Scottish word that he like Americanized.
Maybe, yeah. Or he just made one up.
I said as Maddie's tubes started to drift further from ours again. Hey guys, why are our tubes going slower than his? Oh shit, Darius said, looking over the side. There were a few small holes in the seams of each of our tubes.
No, the teeth of the river serpent.
Darius hopped out of the tube.
There's no way it's real.
Enough that he could walk. He motioned for all of us to step out of our tubes. We all hopped out, the rocks digging at our toes, seaweed between the crevices. As a strand of seaweed wrapped around my leg, I squirmed, thinking back to the slimy feeling I felt the day I almost drowned. Until that moment, I hadn't thought about that particular feeling because the memory of drowning was so overwhelming.
You're a liar because you thought about this earlier.
Yeah, the slimy feeling triggered another memory, the fear of looking down. It wasn't only when something pulled me under, but every time I entered the water thereafter. I never ventured further than a few feet into a pool, river, or ocean, fearing what I couldn't see. After we pulled the tubes to shore, Jordan stepped aside to start yelling obscenities into the phone, most likely at his girlfriend, whom he was fighting with for the umpteenth time.
What?
Babe, this is important to me!
Fuck you, I'm on the lazy river right now.
I'm a fucking tuber!
I don't care if you're giving birth.
If you don't get to the hospital right now, it's over.
But the river serpent!
I'm with the boys!
I'm with the boys!
Darius motioned for me to come over and commented that I looked totally zoned out. Zach, you okay, man? Yeah, I said instinctively, not looking back at him. The wet sand beneath my toes...
Everything he does triggers a flashback.
Yeah, dude is full of flashbacks.
How did nothing trigger it before now?
I said instinctively, not looking back at him. The wet sand beneath my toes reminded me of the first feeling I recalled when I woke up gasping with my grandfather looming over me, his meaty fingers locked over my A small crowd gathered around us, their faces drifting in and out of focus. For years, that moment had been a blur, a frightening, overwhelming blur that stayed in my mind's black box of repressed childhood memory. Clearly not. The black box is broken, buddy.
There's no box.
I call bullshit on that. Yeah, I replied, awkwardly laughing. I looked toward Jordan, who was dragging the deflating tubes up the hill towards the park worker.
My prediction is Miami Dolls about to fucking eaten by the river serpent.
My friend almost died of the river serpent. He's doing the YouTuber thumbnail face.
Jordan's gonna love this.
Red circle. I almost drowned here when I was a kid.
Babe, because I was on the phone to you, I couldn't use the camera app and I missed it.
We're through.
That was my big break.
I had fallen out of my tube. I could swim, but something like a rip current pulled me under. I thought rip currents only happened near the sea.
We really did misjudge which one was the stupid friend.
That's the thing. It makes no sense, but I don't know how else to explain it. Darius put an arm around my shoulder and stood with me for a moment. I'm so sorry that happened to you, Zach. I can't imagine what it felt like. No wonder you were all quiet today. Yeah. Ugh. I hear Jordan raising his voice. I'm gonna check it out and hopefully stop him before he gets thrown out of the park. Are you good here? I will be. Thanks for doing that. I don't really want to talk to him right... They fucking hate Jordan.
My fucking views! I'm live streaming! Fix my inner tube!
Someone has to. After hearing the words, Jordan, you idiot, I headed down the bank to clear my head. On any other day I would have stepped in to help, but my thoughts were too many miles and years away for me to care. After Arnold and my grandfather rescued me, I didn't think much about what happened to me or how it affected me emotionally. At that age, my life moved on normally and was filled with too many school days, birthday parties, and karate practices for me to care about the past. When my brother died unexpectedly a year later, however, I felt like I was drowning all over again. I was racked with guilt for not being able to save my brother the way he saved me. On my most miserable days, I even thought about going back in the river and waiting for an unexplainable force to pull me under.
I don't understand why he came to the lazy river today.
Yeah,
when Jordan or Darius calls like, "Hey, do you want to go lazy river?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure."
This river is 1-for-1 with him right now. This will be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's just ultimate trauma zone.
Oh man, do you want to take over again?
Absolutely. As I walked further down the bank, I struggled to find the exact drowning spot, the popular spot, or anything that remotely resembled it. Maybe the current was too high. Maybe the shadows blanketing the river made it too difficult to see. Either way, I lacked the focus to continue and sat down by a large boulder. My head throbbed. For some strange reason, my jaw was throbbing too. When I looked up, the sky morphed into a dreary mix of purple and black. Is this the work of the river serpent? When I looked back from the direction I came, I saw nothing more than boulders, varying in size. How had I walked so far? I wasn't sure. The river serpent uses domain expansion?
Domain expansion, wandering my ass.
Lazy river. I attempted to call out in the direction of the guys, only to find my voice faint and hoarse. I just want to point out, not horse as in, but the animal horse. Says something, his biology has been altered, clearly. I rubbed my hand over my throat and tried to clear any saliva trapped inside. No saliva lingered. I attempted once more, only to find my voice fainter, hoarser. Upon instinct, I darted towards the water and splashed a fistful into my throat. What do you mean? How would you do that?
I don't know.
Like, mouth wide open, just like landing shots in there?
Yeah.
He's like, ah. I spoke first softly, and then increasingly louder. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? My voice, audible again, carried down the river and disappeared into the wind. A few moments later, a hollow, familiar voice answered back. Zach, over here. Wait, Zach, over here. I figured the voice belonged to Darius or Jordan, but it was higher pitched. It sounded like another voice I had heard before. But I couldn't figure out who it belonged to. I just read a little bit. Zach, hurry up! The voice called again, this time even more hollow. It seemed closer than before. My mind was racing, trying to figure out who else would have called my name with such vigour. After high school, most of the people in my friendship circle moved to other towns or other states. After college, my last known acquaintances did as well, except for Darius, Jordan, and Miguel. Who the fuck is Miguel?
New friend.
Of course! It must have been Miguel. The only 3 people know my name in the whole world. He didn't live in Hyde anymore. He had an apartment in New Haven with his girlfriend, but sometimes visits his grandparents' house on weekends. Why do I need to know that about Miguel?
It's important.
Miguel? I called back. Miguel, is that you? There was no response. Only the echo of my voice bouncing down the waters into the wind. Reluctantly, I hurried down the bank and called Miguel's name again. It must be Miguel, I thought. No other person knew my name well enough to shout it with that intensity. Suddenly, I remembered that Miguel never called me by my first name. Oh, so it's probably not him then. He was the only one to call me Z since high school. An inside joke that didn't catch on with the rest of my friend group. A few minutes later, I felt the water start to regurgitate. What do you mean? The water he shot into his mouth? It didn't feel like water, though. It was sour and putrid, causing me to convulse onto some nearby rocks, followed by very heavy breathing. So much for my lunch of sliders and iced coffee. The sour, putrid trace lingered intensely on my tongue. The stench permeated my nostrils. Why is he reacting to this bizarre situation like he's a sim?
Why did he drink out of, river water?
He didn't just drink it, he launched it into his throat.
Yeah, bad idea.
So he got teleported to, Hell World. He stands up, and I presume his actions are cued as a sim. He runs around shouting Miguel for, 5 minutes, then vomits.
Yeah. This is peak rating.
Oh, no. I whispered just as I stood up and regained my composure. I felt my body shiver from the loss of liquid, I figured, and then a stream of vomit shot out my mouth like a waterfall. I stirred fearfully as I lost control of my body. The liquid wasn't green or clear, but black and slimy. I gasped as something scaly stabbed its way up my throat and into the black stream. Oh my god, I hope this is not a river serpent. He's just birthed.
Did he birth the river serpent?
It was like a xenomorph. When the stream finished, I felt like collapsing. Instead, I stared with pure terror at the black lagoon my body produced. I must have lost blood. I must have been internally building. I needed an ambulance. With my hands violently shaking, I thrust my cell phone from my tattered pockets, practically dropping it into the lagoon. I began to dial 911 as my phone drained to black. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. A jagged black scale lay in the middle of the slime, floating upward like a submerged shark fin. I looked around frantically to find any person nearby. In a matter of seconds, I heard the voice once more. Zach, you okay, brother? The voice carried from the water, many yards from where I stood. Miguel? I called. I looked up from my pile of misery to see a figure floating in the middle of water, eclipsed by shadows. Miguel, can you help? Sorry, it's a canon event. I can't believe you wouldn't recognize your own brother. What the hell? Who are you? I got all the weak genes, Zach. You were their perfect masterpiece. I'm Liquid Zach.
Liquid Zach?
Yeah.
What is Liquid Zach?
Metal Gear. It's the solid Zach and Liquid Zach.
Yeah. Sounds like you're saying Zach.
What's wrong with a little Zach?
Ew. Get away from me.
I'm not in A. I'm in another country. For now.
Right, please continue.
My fingers have gone into, branched out into like tiny atom thin ones. I'm slipping into the microphone.
Ew. Get away from me, you freakazoid.
I'm like spaghetti.
No. Stop!
What the hell? Who are you? I glanced more closely at the figure and noticed the long curly hair drooping over its shoulders. I jumped into the water and started swimming toward the figure, which just floated and swayed with the waves. No matter how close I came to the figure, I couldn't quite discern its features. I stopped 4 feet from the figure and began to tread water, my body still weak, my throat still throbbing. Something prevented me from swimming closer.
Hello? We lost him. Anomalous, rip his balls off.
Who the hell are you? I shouted between laboured breaths. You're not my brother. I saved you. Why couldn't you save me, Zach? The figure said menacingly. You're not my fucking brother! I shouted again, clasping my throat from the pain. What kind of sick joke is this? Although I was terrified, I wanted to punch it, Chewie. I lunged from the water, fists ablaze, and dove towards it. The flame's a disaster! Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
I'll show you.
What's the flames are a disaster?
The flames of disaster from Knuckles.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that, yeah.
I saved you. Why couldn't you save me? I was airborne for mere seconds before I felt something rubbery, like a long, scaly fire hose, immersed in mire, lasso my legs so tightly that it cut off circulation to my ankles, dragging me under. Oh my god, could it be? I was too frightened to look down. I desperately held my breath as the same black slime I convulsed permeated the waters above and below me. My senses were fading, but I could still clearly hear the figure shouting above the surface. I saved you. Why couldn't you save me? I screamed and jerked my body in every direction until I managed to escape the rubbery force. Oh my god, it's Monkey D. Luffy. I could taste the slime, the putrid sour slime, but I was free. I closed my eyes and pushed myself to the surface, expecting to see the figure still lingering there. When I opened my eyes and gasped for breath, there were several people on the blanks, including my friends, who were madly waving at me. Popcorn.
Alright. Watch out! A group of tubers yelled toward me as their orange inner tubes spun on by.
They're gonna crash.
You shouldn't be out here! A man in a single tube shouted, almost knocking me over.
Oh, his shout did that?
What the hell are you
doing
out here? Oh wait, did he teleport back to real world?
I think so, but I like how the man shouting almost knocked him over, like a sonic attack. He's like, oh!
In this world, people, they are sacred artists, and their very voice carries power. Zach, what the hell are you doing out here? Darius shouted.
You're crazy, man! Jordan clamored, laughing hysterically. Get your ass back here!
I froze as several more groups of tubers spun past me, shouting, swearing, and scolding me. When I could manage to move my head, I scanned my surroundings for the figure, but it vanished along with my puddle of black waste back on shore. Do you need help? Darius shouted as another tuber spun by, giving me the bird. No, I'm just a little winded. When the coast was clear, I swam to shore. Darius and Jordan grabbed me by the arms and pulled me up. You don't look good, dude. I don't understand. I threw up right here. There was blood everywhere. You threw up blood? They stammered in unison.
My calculations say vomit plus blood equals bad.
Where's the blood, Zach? Jordan spouted. I don't see any blood.
You're
sure you didn't hit your head out there?
No, there was blood. I don't understand. Let's get you to the medical station, Darius stated firmly. Actually, I think I'm good. Okay? Yeah, I lied. My arms got pretty marked up, and you know me, I freak at the sight of blood. I think I threw up water and got confused. Sorry, guys. Okay, so why were you in the water? Darius asked, arms folded, biting his lips. Thought you were too uncomfortable to swim. I wanted to wash off the blood, and then I had the urge to swim to take my mind off things.
I thought you didn't want to swim, Jordan postured, scratching his head. None of this makes sense.
I hated lying to them. I was bad at lying, and my friends could always tell. This time proved no exception. I knew, however, that Darius would take the overly cautious approach, and Jordan would gush over my story and exploit my state of his mind. A state of his mind? As an excuse for some supernatural expedition for his YouTube channel. Before I dug a deeper deception hole, a yelling woman redirected our attention.
A deception hole? Interesting.
Me when I plundered the deception hole. At first glance, it seemed like nothing more than a mom scolding her 10-year-old son, but the question, "What are those marks?" sparked our curiosity. We cautiously walked down the bank in their direction. We tried to be discreet, but our quizzical looks hushed questions like, "What did she just say?" and Jordan's snickering made our intentions and presence obvious. We had fallen into the mode of the small-town gossipers when we swore we'd never become when we left for college. Our curiosity quickly turned to concern upon seeing the jagged slash marks on the boy's arm. The woman shook the boy and kept repeating questions such as, "What happened, Kalen?" and "Are you okay?"
Kalen,
he did not
Kalen
respond.
Targaryen over here.
Kalen kicked a cloud of dirt underneath him and stared blankly into his mother's eyes. His blue eyes were unblinking and vapid. No matter how hard she shook his shoulder or how loudly she yelled, he remained unfazed. "I'm sorry to intrude, but is everything okay?" Darius asked. The woman adjusted her shirt, wiped her face, and nodded. "Can I get help?" "Oh no, can I get help?" "No," she said, sniffling. "Kalen's on the spectrum. Sometimes when stuff like this happens, he shuts down. I'm sorry, I must have sounded like a crazy person."
"No, you're good,"
Jordan said,
you
kneeling
missed the
down
line,
toward
sorry.
the boy. Advertisements.
"No, you're good."
I must have sounded like a crazy person. Advertisements.
Kneeling down toward the boy.
"Hey, buddy, those are some gnarly marks there. Did you get those swimming?"
The boy didn't respond. He was staring in our direction now with the same vapid expression. "Kalen loves swimming," his mother insisted. "He's a very good swimmer, but I tell him not to go out too far. I should have kept my eyes on him, but he hates when I'm watching." What the fuck? "Where did you get those?" the boy whispered. It took a few moments for me to realize that the boy was speaking to me. His eyes were wide now and almost fearful. Kalen stared intensely at my leg, which I hadn't realized until that moment shared the same set of slash marks. I grimaced. "Where did you get those?" "I got beat up swimming." "I hate it when people lie," the boy replied, raising his voice. You got like static in your mic, bud.
Sorry, I was the river serpent. Is that better?
Fix your mic. Yeah, that's better.
I just ran my hand over it, I caressed it. Did you feel it? Did you feel my touch?
Oh, you gotta fix your mic. It's all weird. Maybe the volume's too high on it or something.
Is that better?
A little bit. So I'm still staring at my mic.
Oh my god, Satan's here.
What?
Satan's here. He's oohing and ahhing.
I don't know what you mean. What's happening?
Are you serious?
No.
I don't know about that.
What?
That doesn't make any sense.
What are you talking about? Tan?
Yeah?
What are you talking about?
For real?
I'm just gonna keep
Can you keep
reading,
doing that?
Doing what?
No, I'm messing with you, sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I was trying to make it sound like I was talking about an alternate version of you.
I hate it when people lie, the boy
Oh,
replied.
that's timely. That's you right now.
mind.
I hate it when Teddy lies.
I was taken aback at Caitlin's alarmingly accurate perception. It got you too. What? I stammered. What did you say? I hate it when people lie!
He punches him into the sky.
This time shouting at the top of his lungs. Sky blue eyes locked deeply on mine. The fucking 30 feet around us, everything explodes.
This kid's underlord at this age.
He unveiled his spirit.
I see. When she said he's on the spectrum, she meant the sacred arts.
I need a minute. Why did that get me?
Half of the river serpent.
Hold on.
Did I get it?
I just had to share that tidbit. Fuck. Okay. Where was I? Shouting. Jordan and Darius exchanged worried glances. Kaylin's mom reached to grab his arm, but he smacked it. It got you too! It'll get everyone!
I assume her arm was instantly shattered.
I'm so sorry. He's never like this. Let's go home, honey. Before any of us could ask Kaylin what he meant, his mother grabbed him by the arm, dragging him forcefully away. Everyone else should leave too now. His face turned to many different shades of red. As Kaylin's mom pulled him down to the bank, he screamed, "It got you too! It'll get everyone! It got you too!"
That was terrifying.
Well,
Jordan
that just happened.
That would improve the story by 8 stars.
16 stars it would have?
Yeah. Maybe you should tell us what the hell is going on, Darius remarked, glaring uneasily at the boy until he was out of sight. Let's start with how you got those marks and save us the lies. You wouldn't believe me. I mean, Jordan will, but I don't even believe myself. You saw the serpent again? His tone was a predictable mixture of concern and excitement. Did it get you? All I know is something got me when I was swimming. It wrapped around me. I don't know what it was. It felt like the same thing that grabbed me when I was a kid. I didn't even dare tell them about the figures, as I didn't even know how to describe it or if it was real. Maybe I had hallucinated the whole thing, but why could I see its menacing shape so vividly in my mind? Why could I still hear that voice that sounded like an otherworldly version of my brother's? Don't start that shit again. Zach, do you think it was an eel?
Come on, bro. Zach doesn't think it was an eel. That's just stupid.
Not as stupid as your serpent idea. American eels live in rivers, and I read somewhere that the
There's
largest
no way.
one
They
is
couldn't
7
possibly
feet.
be a river serpent. This is too scary.
Oh yeah, a 7-foot eel just pulled him under the water. Eels don't do that. You heard what Maddie said. This is classic serpent behavior.
Maddie's a kook, and you're exhibiting pure kook behavior.
Shut up!
Shut up. Stop arguing. You're not helping. I groaned as I walked back toward the river. The sky started to darken again as a low wave died upon the shore, dampening our shoes. Look, I don't know what I saw. I don't know what got me. What that boy said scared the shit out of me, and I want to go home. There's gotta be a rational explanation. Darius, nothing about this day is rational. Oh god, Jordan, why are you getting into the water? Jordan!
Oh my god, he has
I
AirPods
didn't hear
in.
that. Some girl is calling my name. What the hell? Who's that?
Oh my god.
It is literally like, Jordan, why are you getting in the water? Jordan, oh my god, he has AirPods in.
By the time Darius and I reacted, Jordan stood waist deep in the water. A moderately sized wave smacked his forehead, rapidly washing over him. Jordan jumped up, hastily wiping his eyes, and trudged forward. Rain started to cascade down from the velvety black skies. We called for Jordan to come back, but he continued to wade toward the drop-off, his eyes fixed intently on something in the distance.
Sarah, is that you?
Oh no, I whispered to Darius. He grimaced and exhaled deeply. The very name made our skin crawl. Jordan's friend Sarah died after a long illness in college. Was he hallucinating like me? Then again, had I hallucinated at all? What I saw felt so real. Should we get him? I don't even
So calm, no one gives a shit.
I don't like that guy.
He's just like scrambling around the background, like it's like a comedy scene.
As the rain crashed over Jordan, he screamed, his arms visibly trembling.
Sarah, come back!
Jordan, that's not Sarah! I shouted his way. The sound of the crashing rain and waves distorted my voice. Why did the day change so quickly?
Because it's I wonder what Matt McDonald or whatever the fuck his name
He's
is.
like, oh,
He's like, oh, that's a rare beastie.
Crikey! So he says.
They don't say crikey in Scotland.
His entire body shaking now, his skin color draining to an awful pale. Jordan, get away from it! It's not Sarah! Screw it, I'm going in! Before I could dive in, Jordan was already rushing back to the shore. He sprang out of the water and onto the dirt, now rapidly speeding up the grassy knoll toward an opening in the woods. Jordan's trunks were tattered at the seams, with 3 jagged slash marks running horizontally.
I've noticed
down
that
his right
all
leg.
this river surfing seems to do is like try and take people's pants.
Yeah, it's a little sus.
Yeah, and
Without even
Certainly is
looking
a
at each
river
other, Darius and I raced after him, almost tripping on a lopsided boulder midway up the
Why
hill.
is there so many boulders?
I don't know. This is Boulder and River Lane, which caused Jordan to gain additional speed.
What?
For a mere moment, I thought I saw a young woman in a hooded sweatshirt. When I blinked again, there was just a tall oak tree. "Jordan, stop!" Darius hollered, but by the time we reached the opening to the forest, he already had. He stood still for a moment, staring into the narrow path and an entrance sign that read Red Brushed Trail. Only a few hikers were on the trail now. Yet, Jordan was staring intensely at their faces, trying to discern any feature that looked like Sarah's. Jordan, what did you see?"
She was right here. You don't understand. I calculate that Sarah was in the water. Then she was running, and I guess it equaled I couldn't catch her.
"You weren't strong enough. You couldn't save us."
"Jordan," I said softly, "Sarah died many years ago."
You don't understand, Zach!
Jordan's words were faint. His entire body was still trembling, drenched in water and goosebumps.
That was Sarah. She was right here. I know she died, but she was right here.
This is telltale use of Dream Madra.
She got me my knife job.
No, Zach is the knife guy, I think.
Oh, my apologies.
He's the YouTube guy.
Jordan collapsed to his knees and started sobbing uncontrollably. Darius and I knelt down with him and pulled him into our arms. We didn't know what else to do. Through all his false gullibility and impulsivity, Jordan was still our best friend, and we'd never seen him cry this way, not even when Sarah died. It was around this time that Jordan had thrown himself into his supernatural YouTube channel, the channel they had started together. The channel became his escape and mission to honor her. I feared what would happen to Jordan if the supernatural ever threatened that world of his.
What?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
He wouldn't get it.
Well, surely supernatural would only bolster that world of his.
Would you cry if I died and you saw my ghost in the river?
I wouldn't be at the river for one thing, so I wouldn't know that your ghost was there.
I would never go to the River Serpent territory.
I'm too scared of the River Serpent now. I can't ever approach a river again.
Never go to Farmington River, bro.
If I ever die, I'll meet you at Farmington River.
Spread my ashes along the Farmington River.
I've maintained for many a year that the plan would be, if I die, my ashes must be turned into a diamond, and the diamond must then go on a ring, and then
you can unironically do that, but it's
yeah, it's like, but find me a host body to put on the ring.
To propose to someone with the Tanhoney ring.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I'm so."
Sure, if you die, if you die in a relatively quick timeline, I'll use you in a wedding ring to propose.
Well, the idea is that then I possess them. So.
Oh, that would be weird. Then never mind.
They put it on, and I'm like, "It's been 1,000 years."
Just make a normal phylactery. Where are the women and children of this era?
Entirely, it's been 5 months.
We didn't blame... Oh, sorry. Darius and I didn't bother to question what Jordan saw. Once we helped him get under control, he expressed his desire to walk back to the parking lot.
No one really cares about the machinations of the River Serpents that much, do they?
Yeah.
They freak out for like 30 seconds, and it's like, well, let's go.
The River Serpent exists solely as a tool to make them have flashbacks.
It is living flashbacks.
Unfortunately, it was getting darker, and the Red Brush Trail was the only way we could return to the front of the park, which extended over 2 miles in length. We had no other choice but to head down the path. Jordan's face stayed red and puffy, his eyes looking somewhere far away. His eyes were looking beyond the horizon. You can see what Damon did.
River Serpent, like, why did I go back then? Why did I have to go and do that?
To his brother! Just like there would always be people like Zach, so too will there always be people like River
There would always be serpents. Like the River Serpent.
We do know.
Who would win in an animal kingdom battle between Satan the monkey and the River Serpent?
It's Satan, easy.
But what if they teamed up? Was like, they'll kill each other now. It's like, sir, he's riding it.
He's riding the River Serpent. After all, why shouldn't 2 kings form an alliance?
This River Serpent is the king of the waters. However, I am the emperor of all under the sun.
The light catches his eyes just right, and for a minute you can see ultimate power.
He's like, as the sun is rising, because he's like ascending, and he's like, the sun greets me.
Your skulls will make a fine chalice, methinks. River Serpent, get their legs.
Yes, master!
Anything to serve you, honored one. This one is pleased to be your mount.
The sacred beasts. The impreak physical form.
Preak. We had no other choice but to head down the path. Jordan's face stayed... We knew no words or phrases that would ease Jordan's pain. We may have been Jordan's best friends, but Sarah and Jordan connected on a much deeper level, ever since they were assigned lab partners in high school biology class. They shared the same undying love for horror, attending horror movies and conventions regularly. Jordan loved her deeply, even more than he did his current girlfriend, but was always too afraid to express that love.
We're confident now, are we?
Ooh.
It's getting pretty dark, Jordan said, sniffling slightly. We should use the flashlights on our phones.
Damn, I left my phone back in the bin. I don't have a waterproof case like you guys.
Yeah, right, Darius, what are you about?
Sorry, my voice. I'll try, Jordan. I only have about 30% battery life on my phone.
What are these people doing on their phones? That's insane to me.
That'll be enough for now.
Once it goes to like 50%, I start panicking. I need to get home now.
I don't think we're going to get through the rest of this story.
I don't think so. Perhaps we'll have to leave it on this cliffhanger where...
I'm going to give this one a River Serpent out of 10.
Well, we've agreed that you'd have to give it a number with decimal spaces, so...
This one gets like, I don't know, like a 6.2, 4.
Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds right.
6.24%.
That might even be a little high. I mean, it's just like, there's not really a lot going on.
I was promised a River Serpent, and I've only had suggestions of a River Serpent. It's almost over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's the implications of Killer Serpent, of a River Serpent. But sorry, I was so scared now. I changed it to Killer Serpent.
What's your rating?
Like 5.24.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Exactly the same as yours, -1.
This weekend, you said you were going to make up comments that you know the reviewers.
Absolutely. Says an anomalous writer says, "Wow, good episode." Smiley face. Thank you, anomalous. What would other people say? Disguised Toast says, Tanhony, I'm you. I wanted to deny it, but...
Comedy Man Kelp comes back for the first time in forever and makes an epic quip about something that happened earlier. Fuck. I don't know our commenters well enough. Lan says, someone comments, when are you going to read SCP number again?
Shing.
Someone's going to make a joke about this being 4,000, or was it 3,000? That's the big serpent.
Oh yeah, 3,000.
Yeah. I think that's everything. Any news, Tan?
Any news?
Yeah.
There's always more April Space. I never stop. I'm always on that grind set. I was out the other night, and it was getting late. I got bored, and I wrote some April Space on the go. You know,
was it good?
You just read it today. You tell me what I think. What you think?
It's all right.
Yeah. You know, anytime, any place.
Were you at like a Dave and Buster's? It looked like a gaming.
Yeah, it was like an arcade club.
That's fun. Family time. Tan, one of these days, you and we should go out and do something. We'll hit the town. It'll be a good time. But for now, we will see you all next time.
Farewell.
Bye.
Bye.